Hey guys, welcome back to a new video for Yummy. It's been a while since I did my last one. Life's just been getting busy, but I'm really hoping that I can get one out today. Even if it's not that long. I'm trying to do a 15-minute video, if possible. So yeah, why don't we get right into it? So I've actually done a lot of... I've actually done some stuff in the background about the app a lot. One of the things that I do want to talk about is the generic function. So previously I had to define type T of the generic and then use it inside here. But with the new Python version 3.12 or newer, we can use a function type parameter where I can actually type in the generic here. I think this is really similar to what like Java uses or such. So yeah, let's actually activate my virtual environment first so that it can actually pick up that we are using the correct Python version. Let me change my interpreter. We're going to be using, we're not going to be using that one. We're going to be using, that's interesting. We should be using the interpreter included in here. Python. Oh, I thought I was using, oops. Oh wait, really? Okay, well, obviously, because I think the Python that I'm using here is not right. So let me deactivate that real quick, and then let me delete. Oh, have I updated my requirements list? I'm pretty sure I have. So let me delete the virtual environment I have. I remember that I don't actually push my virtual environment, and it is managed locally. Do I have 3.14? Python 3.10? No. Let's see. Let's see the versions I have. 3.14, py. 3.14, that's fine. So let's do py-m vnv.vnv. That's going to create a new virtual environment with Python 3.14 as its version, and that will support this generic typing. This generic typing that we can do here. SQL is a literal string. I think literal string is good. Yeah. Literal string is good for SQL because it helps for, I mean, it's just another type of string. Like, I don't have to be doing it. The SQL manager in the Postgres side should be handling this anyway, so I'm not too sure why I need to be doing that, but it's fine. Like, it's good to know at least. So I will just leave it like that. And then we'll do activate.bim. And then we'll do pip install our requirements.txt. That's going to reinstall all the things required. And then this will be our environment. Cool. So we can see that this t-type parameter does work here. So if I just like re-explain what this util function does, is select SQL. So that's when I'll be selecting different rows from a database table. It takes in an SQL, it takes a values, which is going to be a sequence, and inside the sequence there can be anything in. Usually this sequence will be a tuple. A tuple is a sequence, a list is a sequence. So a sequence is something where an index is present and you can iterate through the index. So let's say a set is a sequence. A dictionary is not a sequence. Oh, an order dictionary might be a sequence? I'm pretty sure that's not a sequence. So an order dictionary only makes sure that the insertion order is kept, but it's not really a sequence. So yeah, let's see. Is a set a sequence? In Python. Oh, set is not a sense. Oh, it's since not ordered. True. I guess we can't iterate through, let's see, Python. Can I iterate through a set? Yeah, how can Python iterate over a set if no order is defined? Temporary order. Okay, so it's literally just a random order and it will be able to iterate over it. That's quite an interesting thing to see. But anyways, okay. I'm pretty sure in Python the finally always executes no matter what. So I'm not too sure why it's actually complaining here. A return cannot be used to exit a finally block. Yeah, that is true. It will be caused, yeah. So, I mean, this is terrible programming to be honest, but if an exception does happen, it's going to print the error for the exception, and then it's going to do the print. So I don't need these. Ooh, I think Python changed exceptions as well. Oh, there's a new Python version, I'm pretty sure. .758. Yeah, okay. Let's see. Allows accept and accept. Oh, okay. So this is definitely fine. Wait, let's actually read the pep for this. What if I have as? Parentheses is still required. Okay. Guess the parentheses is still required for now. We'll leave it like that. It's fine. So the problem here is that the finally block will always be executed no matter what for the try. So even if the exception is thrown, this finally will still return ID. But it's fine for our case because we will be printing it. But still, I guess it's not the best practice that we can do. Why don't we... Yeah. We can return none here. I guess this might be a better way to do it then. But like, if the thing is, if this exception is called, then it's not. We're not like. Does this still run? Let's try it out in the idle, in the Python. No, we don't have Python idle anymore. Okay, let's try in the REPL. Well, idle's like shows a better part of REPL, but let's try. Let's make an index of A and then try print try for okay. Yeah, let's do while true. While true, and then we're gonna do print A I. I equals 0, then I plus equals 1. Okay, I equals 0, and then try while true, print A I, then I plus equals 1, and then we're gonna do accept out of accept. Okay, exception as E. It's gonna be an index out of bound error. We're gonna do print E, and then we're gonna do. Oh no! Wait. No, the thing that I do want to see is... The thing that I do want to see is does this still print? Even if the exception happens, does it still print? Is that not a valid syntax? Invalid syntax, really? Can I not have anything after the Python? Can I have anything after the exception? Okay, seems like I can't, so that's the reason why we actually have the finally block in here. Because no matter what, this finally block will be executed. Okay, we'll just leave it for now. Anyways, going back to the select SQL. So we're going to take in a generic T, and T means literally any generic. And we're going to be taking an SQL, which is a literal string. Represents an arbitrary, quite literal string. This helps, especially for SQL, which is what we have right now. I guess it's kind of bad because we are like preemptively like optimizing against SQL detections, even though our Postgres database should be doing this. But either way, we'll leave it as a literal string. The value is going to be sequence of any. In most cases, this will be a tuple. I imagine it will be a tuple in literally every case because the tuple is immutable. We don't want to be passing through mutable values into our select SQL. And this is the class of the object that we will want to be returning. And this is going to be type of T, which is a T of a generic. We have a list now, so all these rows, and then we're going to pass through the class into our class row. And yeah, that's just much cleaner than we had before for our generic. So that is one of the changes that we've done. And another changes that we did is I kind of reconstructed how our database might look. So if you remember before, how I used to do it was that the price column would be inside the item column. But now what I've done is I moved the price to the store.items many-to-many case, where the store items before was just ID store and item ID. So now what the new thing that I'm proposing is that this item table will be a global item table. So if a store has ice cream, then this global item of ice cream will exist within this item table. And any other store can have ice cream as well. Yeah. So let's say store A has ice cream, and then that item will actually be stored in this store item table. So store A, item ice cream, and the price for that ice cream. And let's say that store B also has ice cream. Then that will be store ID would be B, item will be ice cream. They'll both be referring to the same item row inside the item table, but this is fine because this item, like this row and this item, by nature isn't actually bound to anything. It's just a row by itself. It's just a reference to this item. And that price will obviously be different. It's going to be decimal, it's going to be different to what is in store A. And then that is what we'll be adding the item review to. So an item review can have one, will at most have one and only one store item ID. But an item in a store can have many item reviews, which makes sense. So this is a much better way, because before our item would have might have exploded, and it was kind of hard to keep track of duplicate items for different stores. But having it this way, where we have a list of items. Now, I guess the problem is item image, because we actually need to place this item image on the store image, because, yeah, we need to move this as well, because, you know, ice cream at store A will hopefully look different to ice cream in store B, unless it's like McDonald's. But even then, McDonald's should be the same store, so ice cream in store A should look different to this item in store B, and that's why we will have an item image linked to the store item as well. So yeah. So similar to this, the store item ID can be linked to the store item here. And then much similarly like to before, what we're gonna have is so optional none or many, or one and only one for that. Cool. Now that makes sense to me, so let's actually reflect that change into our database. So before, the issue was that I was actually covering up most of the code, so let's make sure that you guys can see the code with me. Yeah, then let's move it so you guys can see that. Cool. Now let's actually go into our database. I think creating this database just takes a lot of time. Anyway, so before I've got up to store items, so you will see that store items now has a store ID, item ID, price. And it's going to be unique. A store can only have one row for a given item. That makes sense. Well, yeah. Well, a store will only have one Big Mac. If there's a new Big Mac, like a big chicken Mac, then that's a new item, and there'll be a new entry into store items. So that makes sense. So item image. So before the item ID, so it's going to be store item ID, big int references, store items. And then when that gets deleted, we want to be deleting the image as well. Now, do we want to delete it for the review? Let's say if a store deletes. Let's say if a store deletes. Yeah. I mean, I don't... Yeah. Okay, no, let's say they can on delete cascade. So if a store deletes an item, then all the reviews associated with that item and all the images associated, at least the image URLs, because the image will still be existing in the S3 bucket that we talked about, will be deleted as well. Hopefully that we, like, you know, like, I don't know why I live... I guess I'll never delete stores. Like, I don't want to lose reviews, but I guess it's better just coding to do that in the first place. Okay, cool. So item, that's all fine. Store, country, user, cuisine, store cuisine. Oh, have I done user? Yeah, cool. Okay. And then just before we actually go in a bit more, I actually had a chat with one of my friends. I actually had a chat with one of my friends who is a design major. And she was quite happy to help me out with the design, at least for the front end of the Yummy app. She's not available to November, so like once we hit November, I'm thinking that me and her will really get into the design, and then that's really when the front end will start happening. So hopefully I can get all the backend code up and at least the infrastructure up and running before November rolls around, so that once we do eventually get the design happening, once I do get the design happening, I can get right into the front end development, and then I can link it up. I'm leaving on the 25th of November, so that actually doesn't leave a lot of time for me to develop, because I do want to use it day one as soon as I arrive there, you know. Hopefully it's ready day one. I don't want to be coding. I mean, it'd be cool to keep coding once I get there, but, you know, ideally I do want to finish before I do get coding. One of the biggest issues that I can't think about is this API. So maybe I can have like a test localhost front end where I just try to show this API map as well, just so I can get used to how to use the API. But other than that, everything else is fine. So let's see. Everything I've laid out in my ERD is mapped out in my SQL at this point. Now I'm just thinking, is there anything else that I might need to do? Are there any more tables that I might need to add? This is version 0, so I guess this is the most critical things. At this point, I feel like we can actually ask GPT. So actually, before I do that. Yeah. So this is my DB schema for version 0. Am I missing anything? So I just sent through my init SQL, just asking if I've missed anything. I think I'm in a pretty good situation where I can get started with the coding and actually creating these endpoints. Actually, is there a lot to do? So I'll create the endpoints, and then I think a lot of it is actually just making the front end pretty. Okay, I guess I can actually do some of the front end, like for sure, like this, you know, like making the app into a web app. Like, I don't know, well, I guess that's under infrastructure more than like front end development, but maybe logging in, maybe, I mean, I can do the function. Okay, I guess I can have a button. I can have a local host, and I can have a button, and it'll be add store, and I will like write in some fields, and they'll add it to our database. Yeah. Let's see. Oops, I guess I wrote something wrong. Make obvious FK is not null. Oh, okay. I guess that's good practice. So like, you know, well, I mean, I'm pretty sure like if I try to reference a non-existing, like if I try to reference a non-existing primary key in the country, it's going to complain, like Postgres is going to complain, but yeah, to me, this seems a bit redundant. But, okay. I guess it's like a good way. So store ID is, item review. Biggage. I mean, to me, it seems really like redundant, because I'm for sure like, but I guess if they like don't use Postgres and then later like something happens, then it'll be good. But like, I'll just stick to Postgres. I feel like I'm trying to be database agnostic is. Let's see, add integrity checks, review stars in 1 to 5. Integrity checks. I feel like I'll be doing the integrity checks on a more higher level than the database level. Or should I do it in both? I think I'll do it in the high level, because if I know if I do it in the low level, well, with the implementation level. Well, okay, when I say high level, I mean like the front end level, like when I send the data into, no, I'll be doing it in the API level. So when I send an API with an invalid request, then it will send back a response with an adequate HTTP status response, like a RESTful response with the adequate status code, so that the actual issue can be bubbled up. I mean, I guess, because if I let it bubble up, if I let it go all the way to the database and then the problem comes up from the database, that's at least one round trip to the database that I didn't need to do, and my server could have handled it in the first place. But yeah, so that's fine. That's fine. Oh, let's see, item review. Item review user ID. Man, that doesn't even exist. Oh. Okay, it's telling me to add it, right? True, I guess one of the important things that I actually do need to add is like who actually added this request. Like, damn, that's actually a good one. Like like user ID, like who whoops, I can't even believe that I didn't even think about adding this one. Like, who added this request? Like, that is definitely one for the books. ChatGPT was so unsure about it too. They were like, consider adding this, but I'm really glad they told me, like, damn, that is definitely something that we do need to add. Let's think about the relationship for this. So a user can have multiple none or many, but a item review must have one and only one user. So let's add that here as well. So I'm gonna add user ID. It's gonna be a big int. Big int, not null, and this is gonna reference this user ID. Oh, it's gonna add users ID. What did I name? Users ID. And on delete cascade. So if a user gets deleted, then all of its reviews will be deleted as well. Maybe this is like a legality issue. I don't actually think it is, but like if I delete a user, should there? Well, at this point, like anyone can delete any users. So yeah, I'll leave it as cascade, but I'm not gonna give them the. Maybe I'm not even gonna make a. Like, I'm not even gonna make the option an API endpoint where it's gonna be deleting from the user. And the only other way they'll be able to delete users from the database is if they can manually, like, I don't know, SSH into my database, which should be impossible, and then script it, or using some hacking methods like SQL injection. But that's fine. Don't store. Practical indexes, I don't need those. Updated that, nah. If you track price history, I think price history might actually be a good one, just to see. Currency is a good one. Currency I'll probably derive from the store. I'm just thinking about price history. Do I want to keep track of all the price histories? Then I do need a new table. With effective dates. Can you see this one? Yeah. This one. Keep a current price cache on store items if needed. I'll leave it for now. I don't think like prices change too much, and like the price isn't like the biggest one in the world. I'll probably end up using standard auth authentication, but for now. So yeah, cool. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's my done. Now, why don't I try run this? Okay, why don't we try fix this? A return cannot be used to exit a find any block. Okay, then I'm sure like this is like this will work fine. I guess it's better than what I had before. I don't know. Docker compose. Oh. Lower. All right, let's look at the connection. What is wrong? Oh, I think it's doing that thing again where huh. Okay, still not. Oh. Oh, okay. I just nuked it. Oh no. Oh no. What did I kill? I killed something. Uh-oh. Okay, well, there we go. It's up and running now. Yeah, I can connect. Databases, yummy, schema, public tables. Everything is here. Good. Cool. Now, why don't I get on to writing? Oh, let me commit this first. Then what did I do here? Didn't do much. Fix. Fix. Remove finally block from database. Return. This code in here. And the main thing I did was add user ID ref to item review and item image references store items. Cool. Now that we've done that, we can actually get on to creating the backend server. Yippee! I do want to use Swagger. I love Swagger. I actually love Swagger. Like, you know, like damn. Swagger is damn. Turns out this is like bytecode. Bytecode? Yeah, bytecode. Like Python isn't a compiled language, it's an interpreted language. That's why I can like instantly run it on the REPL instead of like having to like compile it and then create files to run it. But like Python, like when I run it like this, it actually creates bytecode and then the bytecode gets interpreted. So I guess it's still an interpreted language, but it's just crazy to me that no, it actually does. Create bytecode in the first place, but it's fine. As I do want to use Swagger, I think one of the Python packages, not standard packages, but one of the packages that we can use is FastAPI. Does FastAPI come with Swagger? Cool. So why don't we actually get to doing? Let's do it. What FastAPI? Let's just add this to. Let's pin it. It's gonna be 1.19. Damn. Okay, so it's not even like a major reduce, but that's fine. Okay, so the documentation actually takes me right back into so yeah, blah 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 blah. Why is it so good? It's because it's so good. It's a bunch of sponsors. Yeah, shout out to all the sponsors. Thank you. Bunch of reviews. Don't you put it in? Okay. Let's actually just follow the. Oh, let's actually just follow the code, what it says to do here. Oh, okay. This FastAPI is taking a while. So I'm gonna make that full screen, and then I'm gonna move this down. Wait, how would I do this so that it's easier for everyone to see what I'm reading? Okay, you know what? I'm pretty sure this is fine. Cool. Okay, I'm not gonna do that just because those seem to be working, but it'll be fine. So let's actually get into my backend server side. So this is gonna go inside not database, not utils. It's actually going inside. I'm gonna call it backend, and then we will call it main.py. Very cool. Yes, indeed. So from typing, oh, union, I don't need that union. We can just use the pipe operator to use union. So we do need to import FastAPI. From FastAPI, import FastAPI. What is this? It's the app class, the main entry point to use FastAPI. Pretty sure that shows it up here as well. So our app is going to be FastAPI. Is that a constructor? Does this create it? Wait, actually, what does new do? What's the new under method in Python? It's the static method. Is it initializer? So it's not really the constructor. I always thought the init was the constructor or of a class, but it's not. It's to initialize the attributes. And the reason why it can't be a constructor is because one of the arguments that passes through the init under method is self. So it's itself. So like how, if it actually was the constructor, like how do you call yourself when yourself hasn't been built yet? So that implies that the object already exists before. So the initialize method is used to initialize the attributes. So initialize the attributes. So that's like, you know, self.variables equals self.variables. Whereas the new method is to create the object. or use async. Nah, let's just try it for now. So there is a decorator. Damn. Oh, okay. I'm guessing that's like the path. Read root. Return hello. It's gonna return a JSON with hello world. The second one is app.get. So this, I'm guessing this is a get method, a get. So when we send in a get, I think I need like Postman or something to this route of items slash, oops, item ID, oops. Then this is the function that we called. So read item ID is going to be an integer. Q is going to be a string or none. And it's a default to none. What are we returning here? Well, it's going to return a. Well, we're always going to be returning a dictionary. I don't even know if we need to write this, but we shall see. Item ID is going to be item ID, and then Q. Then Q is going to be Q. So how do I run this server? What? Oops. And then let's actually activate our virtual environment. Scripts. I'm going to be activate.ps1. Then I'm guessing I need to go in there. So cd source, cd app, cd backend. I'm gonna do FastAPI. Oh, I actually do need to install standard version. It's because I'm running on. I think it's because I'm running on PowerShell. It did say to install standard to work in all terminals. So I need to install Rust up. I need Rust to use what? Interesting. Interesting that I actually need Rust, but okay, so I you know. Okay, I might have to restart my. Interesting. Okay. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. Okay. Interesting. So I actually do need Rust up. Okay, well, it's installing now. So that's the cool part. I guess I actually need to add it to my requirements. Cool. If I can, oh no. Can it see that? Can it see the FastAPI is correct? Okay. Yeah, okay, cool. That is, yeah, nice. If I do FastAPI, if I do FastAPI, it now works. Cool. So if I do FastAPI dev.main.py, there actually is a problem. I actually am running something on my localhost right now. I'm running Pokemon Showdown. Oops. Let's see what port. Oh, whoops, I actually need to go to... Okay, good, it is a different URL. And yep, these are my... Cool. So my root is just... my root is just that. And then... I'm guessing if I kind of just like do this in... I need to send a post. Okay. Actually do need like Postman or something then. That's fine. I don't even need Postman. I can just like use Swagger here. And then item ID. It's just gonna return. Huh. Wait, I think I didn't copy it correctly. I'm missing the Q. Wait, am I? App.get item ID. Oh, I think I'm missing the trailing. Does that matter? I never thought that mattered. Okay, well, I actually get... Wow, okay, that's crazy. I guess it mattered all along. Yeah. Sick. Okay. Well, that works now. That's fine. Cool. So, that was actually much simpler than I thought. That's, yeah. It uses UV-corn. So auto reload for local developments. That's so good. Okay. And then... Cool. I actually can do it through it as well. That's quite annoying. So do I have to that's actually really annoying. Let's actually ask it. So... no. All my models are in here. Let's do this. So in the code here, it seems that I have to redefine. Well, I guess in this case, because they actually don't have the item defined before. Okay, so I actually do need to create new. Okay, that's fine. I mean, it does seem like that is the better thing to do. But before I do that, let's actually just see if these are like proper. Like if so ID name, so normalized name. Yeah, item image. ID. Does it need to store item ID? No. URL is primary position, location. Store, I have ID, store, country ID. Cuisine, I have ID, name. Oh, I actually need a new data class here for the item review. Wait, do we need the store item ID here? Alright, do we? Does that need that? Okay, I'll leave it in for now. I don't. Do I need all this? I don't feel like I do. Okay, actually, I'm not even done with the backend. What am I even talking about? Like, I need to create the gets. I need to create the gets and stuff. Damn. So I've added cuisine. I've got the stores. I've added item to a store, and this is just adding an item to a store. What I need to do next is I need to get all the store items for a store, and I need to insert item reviews and insert items, the item image as well before I even start on the backend. Okay, so I think right now is a good place to end the video at. Thanks for watching, guys. Clearly a lot of work, you know. It's been a while since I worked on this, so it's just like trying to remember what I was up to is quite confusing. But I might start a Notion list so that I can like actually track what my progress is I am doing right now, like so that something today doesn't happen again where I start creating the backend when my details aren't even done. That's fine. Cool. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next episode.